Alright guys, so as you all probably know now, Bob Chapek has been fired as the Disney Chief Executive Officer. As the Disney CEO, he is no longer in that position, and they've brought Bob Iger back for the time being, who was the CEO prior to Bob Chapek. Now, here's the problem. A lot of people are talking about how bad Chapek was, right? And they're saying they're so glad he's gone. My problem, the root of this, lies in Disney. Why did they hire Chapek in the first place? I'm going to tell you why they fired Bob Chapek, but that's a bit contradictory to why they hired him, and you'll see in a second. So before they hired Bob Chapek, Bob Iger said he's not the guy for the job. Bob Chapek is a businessman, he's not a creative, and he is known for doing things cheap and quick. He cuts costs to make a profit. Whereas Disney have always had the method of putting more money in, investing more to raise the profits, to make things better from a creative point, from theme parks, everything. They just invest more and more and more into the company. They are the Mr. Beast from YouTube. They are the Mr. Beast of the entertainment industry, of the studio industry. Now, Bob Chapek, who cuts costs, is the exact opposite of what Disney had always done. Now, they hired him for that reason. They thought they were at a stage where they shouldn't just keep investing, and maybe they should cut off the stuff that they don't really need in order to gain more profit. Now, that was the wrong decision, and that's why they fired Bob Chapek now. They fired him because he was talking about cutting costs in investor meetings. He was talking about how the future of Disney is the fact they need to cut more staff, they need to cut more costs, they need to hold back on putting up more things in theme parks and making sure the rides actually work because they had rides break. So they fired him for that reason, but they hired him for that reason. So I'm completely on the side of everyone saying Bob Chapek was not good as the CEO of Disney. He was not the right man for the job. And I agree that the CEO of Disney needs to be someone who's of a business mind, but also a creative mind. Now, that's a hard combination to come by, but they need someone who is that. You know what I mean? Like, yes, it's hard to find, but you're Disney, so you're going to get the best of the best. All right, Walt Disney was that. Bob Iger is that. Now, you've got to find the next Bob Iger. You've got to find the next Walt Disney. And Bob Chapek was the exact opposite of what that is. So I just don't get why they hired him. And I'm on the side of everyone saying he wasn't the right man for the job. However, they hired him for that reason, then fired him for the same reason they hired him. So I think more people need to be looking at Disney and saying, okay, why did you do that? Like, this is on you. This is no one's fault. You shouldn't blame this on Bob Chapek because he was just hired. And if you're hired to be the CEO of Disney, you're not really going to turn that down. So fair play to Bob Chapek, right? He was not the right man for the job. I don't agree with what he did at Disney, but they knew he was going to do that. And they hired him for that reason. And he never hid that. You know, he said, I'm going to do this and this and this. I'm going to cut the costs, yet they still hired him to cut the costs and then fire him because he cut the costs. So who's making that decision at Disney? I don't know. It's just silly. It's just ridiculous. And they've just wasted years by doing that. So I think the problem lies with Disney. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Let me know your thoughts about Bob Chapek. Was he the wrong man for the job? Are you happy Iger is back, as I am? Let me know down below. If you liked the video, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys on my next video.